I want to start with the thing that I found interesting about you is that I read that you wanted to get into acting when you were like 6 years old. And I'm just curious, what was it that you saw that said, I want to go do that?
I saw my older sister was watching Man on Fire with Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning. And I probably shouldn't have been watching that when I was 6 years old. But my older sister watching it, my parents were at work, whatever. I ended up seeing this film. And I thought Denzel was the coolest man I'd ever seen in my life. And then also I decided after watching Dakota, who obviously was so talented from such a young age, I decided that I wanted to be the Puerto Rican version of her. So that's probably where it all started.
I can't believe that's the movie. Of all the things you were going to say to me, that was not what I was expecting.
Well, there you go.
Right. I've been asking this of everyone I've been talking to recently. What TV series would you love to guest star on?
Does it have to still be going, or could it?
No, I'll let you do the past.
Oh, I would have loved to be on The Office, of course. I feel like that's an obvious answer, but I just want to have had a scene with Creed Bratton and then Steve Carell. I think that would have been really fun. And then also, it might be fun, or it would have been fun while New Girl was still happening, to be a part of New Girl, because I really love Nick Miller on that show, and I just think he's the coolest. Jake Johnson, thank you for that.
Got it. What movie do you think you've seen the most?
Movie that I've seen the most? Honestly, I don't really rewatch films, but growing up, like, we had like a DVD player in our car, and we would just, anytime like my family had like soccer tournaments or whatever, we'd go. And we had two films. We had The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, and we had Over the Hedge, which also another Steve Carell film. So Over the Hedge may take the cake for film I've watched the most.
Got it. I have a feeling, jumping into why I get to talk to you today, this Yes Day thing, I think as families start to see it, the movie, I definitely think there's going to be a lot of families that actually do this. It's going to be one of those things where I'm sure the kids are going to, you know what I mean? So I'm just curious, has your family, since you made the movie, has your family been like, we need to go do this?
No. And the reason why I say that is a lot of my siblings, because I'm 18 now, my younger siblings are 16. I have siblings who are out of the house at this point. Yeah, so we're all a bit older. I'm jealous of the kids who get to watch this and take on this idea, because I wish this is something that we had done. But I think that we kind of got to a point in our life where we were past it. But I think looking back, we can all agree that a Yes Day would have been an amazing experience.
Yeah, I have a feeling a whole bunch of families are about to experience this. I want to get into some specific scenes. So there's a scene where you and the family have to eat a ton of ice cream. And I'm just curious, what is it like as an actor knowing you're going to be doing a ton of takes, eating ice cream? On like the first take, are you allowing yourself, like, how do you film that without getting super sick?
So fortunately, I've had a lot of experience with eating scenes before. So I've experienced the whole, I'm going to eat. I love to eat. This is going to be fine. And then just feeling sick and then still having to shoot and being stuck with that. I've done it. I feel like every actor has to learn it for themselves almost. I don't think my younger brother in the film, Julian Lerner, had that experience yet, because he definitely went ham on the first day. And on the second day, he was feeling it. But me, myself, I knew to pace myself. Don't start off with the ice cream. Maybe start off with like the crunchy candies that will take you longer to process. And, so I was very calculated. I know that. But also I remember the younger kids, Julian and also Everly Carganilla, were really, really excited to shoot that. And I know me, Jen, and Edgar were kind of nervous about it, especially because it was going to be our first day shooting. So then we're going to have to start off with this like sick feeling and then just keep going and start riding roller coasters and doing that whole thing. So it was a little bit of and also it was like so complicated shooting wise, because we're sitting at a round table. So we knew that it was going to be a hefty scene for sure.
I can't believe that was your first day filming.
Yeah. And I had just been working on another project prior, and we were doing night shoots. So like we did a switch, and I think in the other project, I had like a little bit of a tattoo, and I don't know if it's still showing in the film. I think that it got in, like, because I literally was the next day. I don't know if I should have pointed that out, but
I think it's an Easter egg.
Yeah, people who have watched the other film are going to recognize it and be like, oh, this is what I see it. But it literally was like the day after I had wrapped the previous film that I was doing that. So it was like still my sleep hours were off, and that whole process was pretty crazy.
You got to go, you literally got paid to ride roller coasters with Jennifer Garner in this movie. Have you thought about playing the lottery, because your luck seems to be very good?
I know. I was just telling people earlier today, I was like, I don't know how I got so lucky, because I was contractually obligated to ride these roller coasters, to throw water balloons at people, to sing on stages with Jennifer Garner. Like, it was just, I don't know. I can't call it work. I don't know. It's very rare that you get this lucky. And I think that because it was such an insane experience to film, I've been saying too, I think that it really translates in the film because there's so much going on.
There is a moment where you're in a crowd scene and you're going to have to go up on stage, and there's a ton of people in the crowd. When you're acting with that many people on set, does it make you more nervous, or is it sort of like make you raise your game?
I wouldn't say that it makes me raise my game. The only time I'm ever really going to be nervous to act is if it's with people I have a lot of respect for. So I guess like the first few days with Jennifer and Edgar were a little bit nerve-wracking because I don't want them to think I suck. But then also like working in a crowd like that, I'm fine with. I've done theater before. The only time I'm really going to get like so much anxiety is if I'm performing in front of my family. I cannot act in front of my family. I never have been. I don't want to watch them see my work. Like, it's just, they've sacrificed so much. So if they think I'm bad, then it's just not, I don't know. It's like, I can't. I even have a hard time describing it.
You've wrapped on Scream, and you are doing Ty West's X, which are like basically two horror projects. How did you land? Did you specifically go after two horror movies like this, or how did both of these things happen?
No, it didn't come up that way. I remember I auditioned for Scream in the very beginning of quarantine, like back in March, and I auditioned for a different character than I ended up working as. But I auditioned for that. I didn't hear anything for months and months and months, and I didn't think I got it, which I wasn't surprised because I don't know if you noticed. I feel like it's pretty obvious that oftentimes when teenagers are cast in projects, they're like 30-year-olds. So I just figured, they're going to cast people who are older, and that's just going to be it. And they did cast people who are older. I don't know how I slipped into the mix, but I did. So I was very, very lucky for that. And they called me back a few months later. And before I knew it, weeks later, I was flying out to North Carolina to shoot that. And then when I was shooting Scream, I got the tape for Ty West's project, and it's outrageous. So I was really, really curious to send in a tape and see how that went. And then I met with Ty, and then also the directors of Scream, Matt and Tyler, just so happened to be friends. So I was on set, or I was with Matt and Tyler when I found out I booked the project. So they were like, "What? You're working with Ty? That's so crazy." So I don't know how I ended up working with these up-and-coming horror directors back to back. But I'm very, very lucky because horror has got to be the most fun projects to work on, just because you're there purely for entertainment. Everybody's there to have a good time. And if you're working in horror, there's a good chance you're a fan of horror. So we're all just really excited.
I could ask you a million more questions about Scream, but I got to go. And I know you can't talk about it. So I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck with your speed dating.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.